No. Sean, are we supposed to be somewhere? Sean.
No,
Sean, did you get another round? Sean,
yeah,
get her over here. I need a round. Come on, 7 and 7, and get him a Miller Lite. Come on.
All right.
Please.
Are we supposed to be doing something, Jerry?
Don't. I think they're watching the front door. Hang on, we're going to run out of the back door of this place. Follow me. I know how to get out.
Oh, you've done this before.
All right. Yeah. Oh, come on, follow. Let's go. Go. We got to be somewhere. Holy boy. Come on, run. Come on, the elevator. It's going. Let's go.
I'm not very fast anymore.
Jeez, I know you're fat and out of shape, but come on.
Jeez.
Oh, hang on a minute. Phew. Oh, we made it. Thank goodness. Qualifying's just started. Oh, big blocks.
Oh, yes.
I told you. You wait till qualifying's almost over before we leave the dingus to get up here to the tower.
That was timed perfect.
They make him stiff over there. Yes. Left. Good nothing like leaving the dingus to come watch some racing, as it is the Nvizion graphics. Big blocks live from the Knoxville Raceway, the sprint car capital of the world. We are, a third of the way through now of our Super Sunday Fun Day. Is Clay Debin right now, quick time here on the Big Half Mile.
Got Logan Rumsey right now, second quick. Mike Augustine, Corey Austin, Scooter Black in the top 5. Jerry, I've been looking forward to this race all day long. These big blocks on this racetrack. We've had some great racing already today. As you see, Alex Bergeron, speaking of great racing, he picked up the victory with our DirtFan.com 410 sprint cars a little bit ago. And, let's take a look right now. There's a driver that, peekaboo. Let's talk big block modifieds here as we'll get a look at your results from qualifying, which has wrapped up. But there you see Clay Debin, Logan Rumsey, Evan C., Sheldon Oberly, and Randall Carter, your top 5. Evan C., your points leader coming into tonight as we get set for action.
Did you pay the tab over there?
I think I've got a long-standing one running. I think we're okay.
No, we got to go back after this one before the Supers because I left my debit card over there.
All right, you twisted my arm. We'll do that.
Wouldn't be the first time I've left my debit card at the Dingus. Speaking of the Dingus, it's going to be Clay Debin. They're the 84, the D1RT piloted machine on the pole. Sheldon Oberle to his outside of row number 1.
Blue Groove Motorsports, 269. James Grace on the inside of row number 2. Mike Augustine next to him in car 72.
There you see, let's go to the north of the border. We're going to Canada to see Alex Berger on the Team ABR Esports machine, and Eric Skolf driving the $1 Million Motorsports number 50.
Devin Cardwell has the Drew Hopkins Racing at number 70 inside the 4th row. Jacob Perliman next to him in the Barely Legal Motorsports 08.
Donnie Batiste with the Mid-South Dirt Slingers going to start there to the inside of the final row with Richie Yost in the 29 to the outside. Now, you remember that gal that was sitting next to us, you told her she was looking for that nightstand. She's looking for a light for a nightstand. You told her about Mimi's Makings and Motions, right?
That's the place to go. They've got the greatest novelty gifts you're going to find online, Mimi's Makings and Motions. And when I described it to her, she said, that's exactly what I've been looking for.
Her eyes lit up bright. I mean, Sean, I've never seen you have that effect on a woman before.
Well, it was bound to happen one time sooner or later, and I guess that'll probably be the last. But when you describe the great gifts from Mimi's Makings in Motion, it has that effect. It has that effect on folks.
Yes, it does. So everybody watching on UltimateDirtTV, great to have each and every one of you tuned in. For those of you on YouTube, great to have you there. And also our friends that are watching on the homepage of iRacing, the iRacing homepage. Great to have you tuned in for the next 2 World of Thunder Esports League races, which, of course, this being the big blocks. And then we'll have our nightcap with the super late models here at the Sprint Car Capital of the World. And Sean, we are getting ready to go green flag racing.
We will have a series of heat race here tonight. 8 laps the distance on them. 3 transfer into the big dance. We go green off of turn number 4. We are underway with the Nvizion Custom Graphics World of Thunder Big Blocks.
3 heat races, top 3 will take 9 out of the heats. The rest will come through a series of last chance qualifiers for our 24-car A main. Down the back straightaway, the 269 of James Grace, and it will be Sheldon Oberle to the outside. Those 3 cars will battle right there with Alex Bergeron back there in the number 4 spot. Look at Bergeron coming, creeping, and crawling to the bottom side. That's your battle for the 3rd and final transfer spot.
Bergeron has it now, slides up in front of James Grace, that 269, trying to look to his inside as they head back down towards turn number 3. Grace takes a peek to the inside. Bergeron a little higher on the racetrack, and he'll continue to hold on to the 3rd and final transfer spot, keeping his sights on the 105 of Sheldon Oberle, who runs in 2nd. Over into turn number 2 they go in front of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, Jerry.
Past the Brian Clausen Tower, they'll work into turn number 3. It will be Devin Oberle, Bergeron, Grace, 1 out of a transfer looking in. Feel the motor on down there. We take a look at Sheldon Oberle working out the back end of that thing, making it look sexy. Hey, here in the big blocks in Knoxville as they hurry on in. Remember, we are just coming to the halfway point. 4 down, 4 to go, and top 3 transferring to the A main.
Saw a good look there of Alex Bergeron working over Sheldon Oberle. They run 2nd and 3rd. Right now, it is Bergeron. He would like some more insurance, though. He's on the bubble for the transfer spot. James Grace keeping him honest. Grace may have got a little wall contact down the back straightaway. Into 3, now off of 4. It's still Clay Devin as he'll lead him in the 84. 5 laps in, 3 to go.
It's Devin Oberle, Bergeron, and the 269 of James Grace. That's your top 4 Cardwell. Augustine, Yost, Golf, then it is Batiste and Perlman. Your 10 cars on the racetrack, 26 entries with us here tonight at Knoxville. And it is going to heat up once again as Bergeron bringing that number 12 car right to the back of Sheldon Oberle with 2 to go.
Yeah, looks like Bergeron really being patient here with Sheldon Oberle. He's got a good car under him, but can he make the move? And as we say that, James Grace right there, he's ready to pounce and try to get right to the big dance as well. White flag in the air. Justin Clark waves it down the back straightaway. Final time. Clay Devin, your race leader. We know he's going to the show at this point. He's got a nice lead. Oberle drove it in deep into turn number 3, and Bergeron going to follow him to the stripe. Those 3 going to tonight's main event.
Will be Clay Devin,
yes.
Sheldon Oberle. Here we go. Oh, where'd they go? Hang on a minute. Whew. I thought we were back at the Dingus for a minute. I had flashbacks of before the heat races. Clay Devin, Sheldon Oberle, Alex Bergeron, your transfer cars. And it's James Grace, Devin Cardwell, Mike Augustine, Richie Yost, Eric Skolf, Donnie Batiste, and Johnny Perlman. Rumor has it Blake Anderson is still sitting in at the Dingus, so we'll see if we can get him to come back out.
Saving a spot for us for later.
Yes. He texted me, took a picture of my debit card. Here we go. Heat race number 2, your Nvizion Custom Graphic Big Blocks. Logan Rumsey, the Zip 41 out of Slick Sim Sports. And Randall Carter, driver for Team DLR in the 37.
Dylan Yeager inside the second row in the 46. And next to him, Johnny Ruggiero Jr., the 44.
We'll see Scooter Black driving for Team D1RT in the 5. And Ethan Toder, the 23 out of Drew Hopkins Racing Stables. Matthew Logan will sit there.
Corey Sibley going to start on his outside.
Sorry about that. I've got some troubles here. Blake Majulis not qualifying real well back there in the 127, and Brennan Weeks in the 22. Hey, we haven't come up with our question of the day for the big blocks on our Facebook. What should our question be, Sean?
Ooh. Great question. What should the question... Maybe that's the question. What should our question of the day be? There's a question.
Yes, that's a loaded question. Speaking of loaded.
Yeah.
We have a loaded heat race here. Majulis.
I think my computer spent too much time at the Dingus. I'm all sorts of discombobulated over here right now.
You're stumbling and jumbling on me. I thought you were slurring your words. I thought you was having an out-of-body experience there for a minute. Not out-of-body is that 41 of Logan Rumsey as he is hot on it. Off a 2 down the back straightaway. Randall Carter to the number 2 spot. John Ruggiero Jr. in the 44 machine working in that number 3 position. Oh, a little contact deeper in the field. Still Rumsey, Carter, Ruggiero, Yeager, your top 4, but Julius is climbing the ladder into the top 5. Corey Sibley right on in behind them. They'll work him on into turn number 3 and 4, working down the front straightaway. It will be still your race leader, Logan Rumsey. Rumsey still out front. Carter, Ruggiero, Yeager, Majulis, your top 5. See this great battle behind him for better starting spot in a transfer of non-qualifiers race. They'll work on in as they hurry into turn number 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway. On into turn number 3 and 4. They race. Now look at this. Here comes Ethan Toter. Toter across the nose of Corey Sibley. Down the back straightaway. It's side by side as we're coming to the halfway point. Working into turn number 3 and 4. Oh, across the snoot goes Sibley. Toter gives him a shot to the shorts. Here comes the 41 of Matthew Logan. Logan's there, the 5 machine of Scooter Black. Look at this action. 2 and 3 wide. Now contact. Right side romance applied. The 23 of Toter's going to look back to the inside. They're side by side down into turn number 3. Toter. It's going to be the 5 machine of Scooter Black. He's going to shoot up the racetrack. Matthew Logan right ahead of him as they hurry down the front straightaway. Into turn number 2, down the back straightaway though, Logan Rumsey and Randall Carter. Uno dos traces John Ruggiero Jr. They'll work into turn number 3 and 4. Laps winding down, 2 laps remaining for the top 2 spots. That 37 of Randall Carter working with the 41 of Logan Rumsey. Rumsey still out front. We've seen him have troubles in the 410s. Can he rectify and come back and have a good run in the big blocks here at the sprint car capital of the world? White flag coming out. Logan Rumsey, your race leader. Rumsey on out front, working it on in. Randall Carter, John Ruggiero working 1, 2, and 3. Those are your transfer cars. They hurry and scurry off of turn number 2, now down into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag is going to be coming out. It'll be Logan Rumsey, Randall Carter, and John Ruggiero Jr., your top 3 hot rods going to the A main. Taking a look as we get ready to go to your finishing order. It'll be Logan Rumsey, Randall Carter, John Ruggiero Jr. going to the A. Guys going to the B main, it will be Dylan Yeager, Blake Majulis, Matthew Logan, Scooter Black, Ethan Toter, Corey Sibley, and Brennan Weeks. Those is heat race number 2 action. Heat race number 3 getting ready to roll upon the speedway. Let's take a look at Evan C. driving the Team VLR 33 on the pole, and it is outside the 69. Also, Team VLR, that is Brent Carter. Another Team VLR racer going to the inside of row number 2. It is Ryan Underwood in the 4 and Corey Austin from Mid-South Dirt Slingers in the 92. Going to row number 3, it is Jason Randolph driving for the firm. That is the 47. And the D12 machine, that is the 15 on the side of that car. That's Ryan Flatten. Going to Chasing Down a Dream, that's Chase Hardy in the 49 from Drew Hopkins Racing. And Richard Murtaugh Jr. driving the 28 Rocket Racing Setups. And Dylan Wilson starting shotgun in the 80 car, I believe, tonight on the side of that machine for Team D1RT. So I think Sean has had to make an emergency trip out of the booth. Rumor has it he'll be back shortly. Dingus will do that to a guy. It will happen. Evan C. on out front. Brent Carter there in the 69. Team drivers right there with us as we get ready to go.
Hey, Jerry, here, I've got some. Here.
Oh, dude, did you leave a tip?
Yeah.
Okay. Whew, I was
nice little gift card.
Oh my goodness! I mean, that gal's worth she was worth $100. I mean, she took care of us. You tip her good. You get. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I'd tell you what. As we get ready to go to the green flag, I'd have left just the tip for her as we go back to green flag here at Knoxville.
Ryan Underwood right there, and Brent Carter side by side for position number 2 as they hustle off of turn 3. Now to turn number 4, Jerry. It's Evan C. out front into 33.
Down the front straightaway, Evan C., Brent Carter, Ryan Underwood working 1, 2, and 3. Look at this, battle for fourth. Look at this. He had a great run. Second place in the 410s. The Bondurant Iowa driver, Jason Randolph, into the number 4 spot. Ryan Flatten running right on in behind him. Speaking of Flatten, they're trying to flatten the curve on this one and make the top 3 break away as it is C., Carter, and Underwood.
Back down into 1 they go. Randolph needing to get going. We've only got 3 transfer spots out of these heat races. Here comes Flatten to his inside. Side by side for 4th. That's still 1 out of a transfer spot, and they're going to battle it out once again off of turn number 4. They'll come down to the stripe. We've got 3 laps in, 5 to go.
Come on into turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Still see Carter and Underwood. 1, 2, and 3 flatten back there in the number 4 spot. Randolph has got Chase Hardy coming to the inside. Romance applied. Monster jams are coming as they hurry down the front straightaway. The 116 of Hardy in there down. Ooh, that was a straight line to the top of turn number 1 as they hustle off a 2 and down the back straightaway.
So Chase Hardy there and Jason Randolph exchanging pleasantries. You know what? One more just for the heck of it over here in turn number 4. Out front, though, Evan C., Brent Carter, Ryan Underwood continue on in the transfer spots. Finally, those 2 get separated, and they're head your top 3 into turn number 3. C., Carter, Underwood in the transfer positions. They'll come to the stripe. 2 laps to go in heat race number 3.
Me confused. You said just one more. I thought it was the nightcap already. I thought the Supers were on the racetrack. Not to be had as they break them down the back straightaway. Supers are next here. Coming up as we are working big blocks at Knoxville here on the World of Thunder Esports League Season 12 on Ultimate Dirt TV. And great to have you on the iRacing homepage as the white flag is out and we've got 1 to go. Evan C., your leader.
Final time down that back straightaway. C., Carter, and Underwood. They're going to try to make the hard task of getting into the A main as easy as possible. They'll do it directly through their heat race. Down to the checkered flag they come, and they are your transfers from heat race number 3. There's the rest of the finishers heading to the stripe as our heat races in the books tonight for the Nvizion Graphics World of Thunder Big Blocks.
3 heat races clicked off in grand fashion. It is C-main time, but let's take a look here at heat race number 3 results. It will be your finishing order this way. Evan C., Brent Carter, Ryan Underwood, Ryan Flatten. Then it'll be Jason Randolph, Chase Hardy, Richard Murtaugh Jr., Dylan Wilson, and Corey Austin rounding out the field. And it is time to see your way into your last chance to dance qualifiers as we are getting ready to go to our starting lineup for the C main coming. Chase Hardy working there on the 1 spot. Richie Yost, the 29 to the outside.
Row 2, Scooter Black in the 5 on the inside. Next to him, Richard Murtaugh Jr. in the 28.
Eric Skolf driving the $1 Million Motorsports number 50, and Ethan Toder, Drew Hopkins number 23 to row 3.
The D1RT Racing number 24 of Dylan Wilson. He'll start 7th on the grid. Donnie Batiste on his outside in the 119. Keep an eye on Dylan Wilson coming into tonight, number 3 in the point standings and 2 feature wins.
Corey Sibley back there, tail tagging Motorsports 999 to his outside. Corey Austin, Mid-South Dirt Slingers 92.
And from the 11th spot, Jacob Perliman in the barely legal 08. Brennan Weeks, the Mid-South Dirt Slingers number 22, going to line up in the 12th spot.
12 cars going, I believe, 10 laps. 4 cars to the B main. So 4 guys will still have a chance to dance. The rest of them, well, they're going to come back next week, Sean.
Yeah, and hope for some better luck. Maybe they're going to head across the street to the Dingus, or they're going to go out to the pit stall and get their super late models ready for the upcoming events with them still here tonight on Ultimate Dirt TV with World of Thunder.
You know what I think we're doing after this? I think instead of going to the Dingus for one, we're going to the Rib. We're going to the Rib Shack to get something to eat after this.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah,
Rib Shack, Mr. C's.
There's all kinds of
right up the street.
If if anybody watching or racing knows or has been to Knoxville or has friends, you know of these iconic places.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Great stuff. Hey, great stuff. We're back to racing here. C-Main underway. 4 drivers keep going on tonight. Who will it be? You see the laps up there, top left, 10 laps to decide it. Chase Hardy out to the early race lead with Richie Yost close in tow.
Chase Hardy on out front. Yost, Toter, Murtaugh, Sculf. Now look at this. They'll get 3 wide. Here comes Dylan Wilson in the 80 car. He's looking for a chance to dance. Can he do it? He'll go to the outside of the 50. Sculf working the top side. It is Richard Murtaugh. They're in the 33 car on the side, working it there to the 4th and final transfer spot out of the B. They'll work down the front straightaway. Here is where the money spot is. It is for this number 4 spot.
There comes Dylan Wilson, the 80 machine, to the inside. He's got it for a moment, but Murtaugh powers back around the outside in that 33. Down to turn number 3. Dylan Wilson still out of a transfer. Off of turn number 4 they come. We've now got 3 laps in. 7 laps to go in C-Main action as we go on board with Richard Murtaugh Jr., who holds on to the final transfer position.
They hurry him on in. Chase Hardy, Richie Yost, Ethan Toter, and Richard Murtaugh, top 4. You watch this battle right here as we go on board with Richard Murtaugh looking at the 23 of Ethan Toter straight ahead of him. Now look at that, they're side by side for the lead as it is Richie Yost getting around Chase Hardy. Hardy back to the inside as they race down the back straightaway.
So now Wilson just taking over that 4th spot, and the yellow flag is out in tonight's C-Main for the Nvizion Custom Graphics World of Thunder Big Block Modifieds. Here is your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. Corey Sibley, the 999. We're going to keep our eye on him here as you see them. Well, 3 wide coming off of turn number 4, and the track just got a little bit narrow for that. And Sibley, insult to injury, rolls it over right there at the end of the incident.
Yes, apparently he was looking for some real estate to buy at the sheriff's foreclosure sale, and he just didn't make it in time to buy the property, and then got kicked out and rolled over. Tommy tip-overed.
So they'll have to take that to the trailer, get the dents out of it, and get ready for next Sunday night on our next Super Sunday Fun Day with these Nvizion Custom Graphics Big Blocks.
You betcha. Richie Yost, Chase Hardy, Ethan Toter, and Richard Murtaugh, your top 4. Dylan Wilson in that 80 car, 1 out of a transfer, trying to make his way in. Of course, Richard Murtaugh, the 28, which is the 33 on the side of that car, is in the bump spot. The bump spot, the bubble, the transfer, whatever you want to call it. He has to hang on to it if he wants to dance again tonight.
The spot that matters. That's what it is right now for these drivers in this C-Main. Top 4 only go on. The rest, they're done. They're spectators. Unless they're running the super late models in a little bit. We'll have a 2x2 double file restart here with... we're right just shy of the halfway point. So we'll be right at the halfway point of this C-Main when we come back to a green flag. Jerry, a lot on the line in this C-Main. I think we've got some drivers right now outside the top 4 that are probably sweating some serious bullets as they come back to this green.
You know what? They're wanting to make their way into the dance or into the, the last chance to dance, the B-Main. Top 4 only transfer. We are at the halfway point. Sticks are crossed. Green flags are waving. Richie Yost will take that 29 to the top of the racetrack. You see it right there. She's starting to slick off there on the berm around the bottom. The curb on the top is coming. You see Richie Yost, Chase Hardy, Richard Murtaugh, Dylan Wilson. Wilson right now has put Ethan Toter back into the 5 spot. Toter trying to hang on for his run to a B-Main.
Yeah, watch this battle right here. That number 80 of Dylan Wilson's been very strong right there next to the berm on the bottom, but here comes Ethan Toter. He's building some momentum on that higher line as Wilson sails it into turn number 3. Lane change comes up across the track. Now Toter going to dip to his inside. Going to take a look as they head back down to turn number 1. 3 cars battling right there for the transfer spot. They are rubbing some sheet metal as they come off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Toter and Wilson going toe-to-toe for the transfer spot.
We'll watch him off at turn number 4. That is the 4th and final transfer. That is whether you go to play one more time or whether you go sit on the couch and, watch what's ever on TV on Sunday night. down the back straightaway. Laps winding down. We will see the white flag waving this time. It's Yost, Hardy, Murtaugh. Once again, this battle back there for the transfer spot. Wilson one out. You've got the 33 of Murtaugh. Which means Wilson's got it. Toter trying to get into the 23 car.
Down the back straightaway, it's going to take a big Hail Mary here for Toter. If he's going to get back to a transfer spot off of turn 4, they're wrecking behind him. And at the stripe, Yost, Hardy, Murtaugh, and Wilson going to keep those dancing shoes all pretty. And they're going to tonight's B main as the transfers from the C feature event.
So we will take a look at your Nvizion custom graphics. Final results, of course, Yost, Hardy, Murtaugh, and Wilson go to the Last Chance to Dance B feature. Guys that are going to come back to, well, next Sunday, Toter, Scolf, Austin, Batiste, Black, Perlman, Silby, and Weeks not making the show to the B main tonight. So great job out of them for being part of tonight's big block show here at Knoxville, and best of luck to you next Sunday. Speaking of best of luck, we are looking for, so we took 9:24. My math is not real good after leaving weird tips at the dingus. So we got to qualify a handful of cars out of this one. James Grace on the pole, then it'll be Dylan Yeager to the outside. That's Blue Groove Motorsports and Rocket Racing up on the front row.
The D12 Racing 15, Ryan Flatten going to start third. Davin Cardwell, the Drew Hopkins Racing 70. He lines up fourth on the grid.
Going 5 and 6 is Blake Majulis, the 127, the T1RT Racing Machine, and the firm. That is the 47 of Jason Randolph.
It'll be Mike Augustine, the 7th starter in the 72. Matthew Logan, the D1RT Racing 41. He lines up in position number 8.
Then we go Richie Yost, the 29, and Chase Hardy. They're in the 49.
Richard Murtaugh Jr., the 28. He'll start 11th. Dylan Wilson on the outside of the 6th row. That will be your starting lineup, I believe, for tonight's B-Main event.
Time out. I gotta.
Okay. Okay.
So 24 minus 9 equals 15.
Yes.
And we only have 12 cars in the B, right?
That's what I saw. Yep.
7 and 7 adds to 14, right?
No, we took 4 out of the heat races.
Oh, see, I didn't get that.
Is that what we did? I don't know. Jerry, we were at the Dingus for an hour and a half, and it's all been a blur, man.
I told them I wanted a 14, but I think they were mixing them more to like an 11. We are definitely going to need to go to the Rib Shack after this one. Here we go. Green's out. We are looking as they work them on in. James Grace, Ryan Flatten, 1 and 2, looking down the back straightaway into turn number 3. They race them as we race your B-Main 12 laps of distance.
Grace, Flatten, Majulis there in the 3rd spot. Majulis, one of the top runners in the point standings in this B-Main. So we'll keep an eye on him later on in A-Main action. Grace slips up the racetrack a little bit. Here comes Flatten and Majulis, both coming after him as they head back to turn number 3.
Down into turn 3 and 4, it's still Grace, Flatten, Majulis, Dylan Yeager, your 4th place runner. Look at this. They're going to fan it out 3 wide down the front straightaway. Into turn 1 and 2, look at Blake Majulis crank that machine, found the switch that says beast mode, and he's working towards the front as they're crashing down the back straightaway.
They're all going to get it sorted out there as the 47 of Jason Randolph. He's found himself kind of in the eye of the storm all night long in these big block modifieds, coming off the runner-up run earlier in the 410 sprint cars. A little kabang going on there deep in the field. Cardwell and Yost going to get together, and they've got trouble over there in turn number 2. They continue on. Ryan Flatten, speaking of continuing on, he continues on as your race leader.
Down into turn number 1 and 2, Flatten, Majulis, 1 and 2 deep in the field. They're racing. Here comes Chase Hardy. Hardy and Wilson working back there. Right ahead of them is the 41 of Matthew Logan. Hardy down there chasing down the dream, working, trying to make something happen. Can he get her done as they hurry down the front straightaway?
5 laps in, 7 to go as we see the 80 of Dylan Wilson coming through the field as he's the last transfer spot into this B main, and now coming through the field. Every pass you make in this B main event right here, that's a pass you don't have to make potentially in the upcoming A main. So these drivers still hard on the gas pedal in this B feature event. And Jerry, track getting really wide. We're heading out right next to the outside wall.
This place widens out just like Knoxville does in real life with the big white sprint car tires. It does the same thing with mud buses. They'll hustle them off of turn number 4, still crashing back there deep in the field as we've got 172 machine of Augustine. That's going to bring up the caution flag. Caution is out.
Wow, Mike Augustine having some bad luck here tonight. Got collected up in a few events earlier in the 410 sprint cars. Here's your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. Augustine sends it in there and gets a little how do you do. And just like that, the cars stick together, Jerry, and then outside wall.
Yeah, not what you want to see. Augustine has not had a good night here at Knoxville. Did not have a good night in the 410s and not having a good night in the big block. Did you ever get me a transfer number?
No.
Okay, me neither.
No.
You know what else I didn't get?
What's that?
It's that gal at the Dingus's phone number either.
Well, if
you know that one gal that was kind of hanging out with us.
I did do you a favor though. I did talk to her for you. I've got her name. I can give you her name.
Anita?
No, her name was Russell.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's her last name. That's her last name, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Apparently, she's walking the pits. That's what I just heard. She's riding in the pace truck with Wally, they say.
Ah.
She is a fan favorite. So as we work them on around under the caution flag. Matthew Pritchard wants to know, can someone message me and tell me how to get into iRacing? It's simple.
Ooh.
You buy a setup, you buy iRacing, and you start racing.
Even a guy like me got it figured out. You gotta get yourself some pedals, get yourself a nice steering wheel, make sure you've got a good graphics system and a computer, and away you go, man. Wow, that's good.
Technically, you don't need pedals.
You can actually do it with a keyboard and a mouse.
If you have enough talent and coordination, you can use the up, down, right, left arrows, and you can spacebar your way to the front. But I guarantee you that's not what Blake Majulis is using as he is wheeling that 127 down around the bottom. Now slings to the top. Flatten, you've got company.
Flatten going to try to continue to lead this one as they head into 1 and 2, but we're side by side for the race lead. Blake Majulis coming after Ryan Flatten for the top spot in this B main. They'll both sail it on into turn number 3. Majulis on the bottom, Flatten on the top. They'll come off of turn number 4, tip of the green. 2 laps to go.
Down into turn number 1 and 2, Flatten, Majulis, Yeager, and Wilson. That's your top 4. They run 2 lanes, top and bottom, down the back straightaway. Majulis is going to throttle, going to try to pin it and win it on the bottom side. Looking at the white flag this time. There is 1/2 mile left to go for the race lead.
Behind them, Dylan Yeager was right up next to the wall. And here comes Dylan Wilson. He's up to the 4th spot from last in this B main. Final set of turns for the win in the B. Still side by side out front to the checkered. And it will be Ryan Flatten first to Justin Clark at the stripe.
Flatten, Majulis, Yeager, and Wilson. Your top 4 cars moving themselves forward with a chance to dance. Well, they do now have a chance to dance. They're going dancing.
Absolutely.
Oh, hey, you know what I say? You know what I say, Neestat?
What do you say? What do you say?
In the words of the famous promoter that hired Chris Economaki to announce his first race gig, let them all go. They're all going to the A main tonight.
That works for me. All that math. Oh, here's a look at your official results from tonight's B main. Flatten, Majulis, Yeager, Wilson, Grace in the top 5. Then Logan, Hardy, Yost, Randolph, Murtaugh, Augustine, and Cardwell. That's your official finish of the B main. Jerry, cars coming onto the racetrack. Last chance to fine-tune those setups before this main event.
You bet. While they do that, we're going to step away, pay a couple bills. You're watching Nvizion Custom Graphics Big Block Modifieds live from Knoxville Raceway on Ultimate Dirt TV.
You can believe what happened over here, man. We're gonna run out there and really went to the house. Cops came out here. Told me I was just taking out the garbage. Where you been?
Shit, man, I've been taking care of these motherfuckers.
Oh, damn.
Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house.
It is time to go A-Main Racing. And we are set to go. 21 cars will take the green flag here in your Nvizion Custom Graphics Big Blocks. Davin Cardwell rolls off 21st. Mike Augustine 20th. 19th will be Richard Murtaugh Jr.
Row 9 has Jason Randolph in the Firm Motorsports 47 on the outside, and next to him, Richie Yost in the 29.
Chasing down the dream from the 16th starting spot is the 116 of Chase Hardy, and the number 41 of Matthew Logan knows Drew Hopkins Racing in D1RT cars starting in row 8.
269 looking fine. Blue Groove Motorsports entry of James Grace on the outside of the 7th row. Dylan Wilson, he'll line up on his inside for D1RT.
Then we'll see Dylan Yeager, the 48 Racing for Rocket Racing setups in the 12th starting spot, and Blake Majulis, the 127 for Team D1RT, rolls to the inside of row 6.
The D12 car number 15 of Ryan Flatten starting outside row number 5, and Ryan Underwood next to him for Team VLR.
Going to row number 4, it is John Ruggiero Jr. in the 44 in the the D1RT Racing machine, and from Quebec, Canada, from Team ABR Esports, it's Alex Bergeron.
Moving up to the next row, your 6th starter, that's Brent Carter outside the 3rd row, the 69 for Team VLR. Randall Carter next to him, the 37, also for Team VLR.
Going to row number 2, it's Sheldon Oberle in the 105, and Team VLR driver Evan C. in the 33.
And your front row looks like this on the outside. The Slick Sim Sports 41 of Logan Rumsey. And next to him, the Team D1RT Racing number 84 of Clay Debin.
Those are your stars and cars for the World of Thunder Esports League Season 12 Nvizion Custom Graphics Big Blocks. As Pace Truck falls in the words of Tony Bacco, and it is showtime at Knoxville Raceway.
Perfect. Clay Debin going to lead him down into one. Here comes Logan Rumsey in the 41 on the high side. Evan C. works the bottom right in front of Sheldon Oberly. Into turn 3, up to speed for the first time. Clay Devon looking strong, but they're all over him as they work off of turn number 4. Clay Devon leads the opening lap.
Devin will lead him on down. You see the 41 machine, Logan Rumsey. He is looking to rectify that run he had in the 410s and come to the front in the big block. Caution coming out of the raceway as the field works down into turn number 3. Yellow flag out. And here is why as we take a look at the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. Richie Yost back there, and I'm going to have to say there's contact, then there's contact, and chain reaction happens. Got into the back of Logan, Matthew Logan there in the 41. I had to check up, and then the 33 of Richard Murtaugh had nowhere to go. You see it, just kind of one of those. I had a big run, and then, oops. And then,
There was room, then there wasn't.
Ooh, take a look up under the skirt on that one. Rumble and stumble around the bottom of the racetrack. Things can happen.
Happened fast here at Knoxville, carrying, the last few weeks, Jerry, we've been on a lot of tight little bull rings where they weren't carrying so much speed, just really action-packed, tight little racetracks. Here at the Knoxville Raceway, we're carrying a lot of speed with these big blocks and all that horsepower. We're talking 950 horsepower in these cars, so a lot of speed as they hustle them down into the corners.
Yes, there is. Point well taken on that one as they hurry him around. 3 of 40 in the books here in your feature event. Big blocks and then super late models coming up next. Oh boy.
Ooh. Super Sunday Fun Day.
Well, I will tell you what was not a Super Sunday Fun Day was my drive home from Northwest Iowa.
Yeah.
Crazy. I couldn't believe I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh, it's snowing. And then it's like 3 hours later, oh, it's snowing. Then it's like 6 hours later, oh, it's still snowing. Wow.
And now here we are. Yeah.
Yes, but here we are.
I sent the young one out to do some shoveling. I thought we had just like a little trace of snow. No, we have several inches of it here. And he came back inside. He wasn't too happy with me. He said, Dad, you should see how much snow. You go do it.
Tell him and ask him if he would like a place to sleep tonight, and we'll see what the answer is. Our matey as the pirates sail the ship down into turn number 3 and 4. Clay Devon, Logan Rumsey, Evan C. Back there, the old dirty grass hole. Sponsored 33 machine, and behind him, look at this, Bergeron coming on the move.
They were nearly 3 wide as look at Bergeron slip up the racetrack, wanted to throw the slider. There was no room for it. Ryan Flatten up to that 6th spot after being in the B main. Blake Majulis coming forward as well. He's right there in the mix as they all come off of the 4th turn and down the front straightaway. There is the 33 of Evan C. running 3rd. They're side by side for the race lead. Here comes Logan Rumsey with all the momentum down the back straightaway.
Rumsey going to take to the outside. It'll be Clay Devon to the caution flag. Wheeling caution lights coming around the Marion County Fairgrounds speed plant. As we slow this one back down here on lap number 5. And here is exactly why the caution is out on the racetrack. Brent Carter there. And say I saw that happen behind us. The 15 machine coming off and caught the inside berm, and when it did, it upset that car. And unfortunately, Brent Carter, who started up there decently in the field, had been fading back, had nowhere to go.
How about the job of the drivers right behind this not to hit him? And you know what? Brent Carter does a nice job here. He's not going to be able to save it after this contact, and then he gets turned. But instead of staying in the gas and running down the track and, nobody would know where he's going, he just locks the brakes, let everyone get by, and makes, a tough incident for him not become everybody else's problem. Nice job.
Yeah, exactly. Lets everybody get on around. Sportsmanship Award of the night going to Brent Carter for Team VLR there in the 69. Says, hey, how y'all doing? Don't mind me. It's like my Snapchat videos. Can't park there, bud. Can't park there, bud.
You've had a few opportunities.
There was only 3 can't park there buds on the way home. I was surprised everybody did a good job of driving on winter roads. I would think after the 7th snowstorm this year in the Midwest, they would figure it out.
Yeah, see, but here's what happens is, like, the first snow hits, and then we all forget how to drive on it, and everybody crashes. And then the second one comes, and everyone's really careful. And the third one comes, and then we're getting more brave because nobody's crashed. And then the fourth one, and they're like, oh, we know how to do this. We've been doing this all winter long. And then you get that one, and everybody's done. Everybody crashes again. Don't get too confident.
Well, I mean, I usually drive with common sense, so I'm confident most of the time.
Common sense. What's that? That's out of style, Jerry. As you know.
No. I didn't put a helmet on and strap it on tight. So there, I have a little bit left. It's Logan Rumsey down the back straightaway. Evan C. Clay Devin and Alex Bergeron. Look at this. Blake Machulis out of a B main. He's storming the castle, working the bottom in the 1-2-7.
Unbelievable how fast he has come forward through the field into the top 5. But Logan Rumsey, he's got the point now, and he is trying to hold off Evan C., who's climbed into the second spot. Down the back straightaway they go. Rumsey in C, 1-2. Devin still in third. Bergeron riding into fourth position, right in front of Blake Machulis. As you see that wild pack. Oh, we're tangling him up off of turn number 4.
Oh, I tell you what, Levin touching, squeezing, right side Romance and left side Levin all applied back there, and that brings out the caution flag. Caution flag coming out. So
I'm going to bet we'll get a look at an Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay here, Jerry. But a couple cars, they were really stacked up once again, a little bit deeper in the field, and you'll get a peek here at it right just past the center of 3 and 4 is. This little shot to Chase Hardy.
That's been an ongoing thing in this one here between Hardy and Yost. That started, I believe, in the heat race, and it's just been it's been like the cesspool has been bubbling. The monsters have come out.
It's angry sharks.
Angry sharks, do. No, that's baby shark. Sorry.
So close.
So close, but so far away.
We're gonna get a nice green flag run coming up here, Jerry.
Yeah, you know how long? You know, I'm hoping it is 32 laps of green flag run.
It is. You know, I gotta say, Blake Machulis probably not minding these early cautions. He's picking up some spots from that B main. Caution comes out, bunches everybody up. He gets another restart, gets another opportunity to pick up another quick spot. So we'll have to keep an eye. That 127, whatever ailed him in the heat race, he got it rectified for that B main, and he's really charging through the field now.
Yes, so we'll watch and see what happens there. Oh, beautiful day here. A Super Sunday Fun Day. I don't care what the weather is like where you're at. If you're watching us on Ultimate Dirt TV or the iRacing homepage, it's kind of like one. I've always said, what is it? One bad day at a racetrack is better than any good day at work.
Oh, there is a lot of truth to that. As speaking of good days come with green flags in the air. We're back to racing. Look at this battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth. They're all packed up behind Logan Rumsey as they head down the back straightaway back to turn number 3. Clay Devin works the bottom. Evan C. on the top. Now they're 3 wide for third.
Speaking of good day, hang on, it got a little crossed up behind him. That's going to bring back out the caution flag. Oh, man, that battle for second on back. You guys are going to be able to take a deep breath and think about how they're going to size this on up. Is Dylan Wilson back there in the 80 machine? Is it just things happened in front of him? It looks like Oberly got into John Ruggiero. As Ruggiero bermed it down there on the bottom side, got the left front down there and upset the car right here. The 44 kind of bobbles a bit. Oberly has to stab the brakes. When that does, the car unloads. Wilson has nowhere to go. And then it is not Super Sunday Fun Day.
No. Fun day. Fun is not the F word they were using at that point. Not at all.
It was more of like a manic Monday for them.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, you made a good point earlier for our friends down under. It is Monday already.
Yes.
So happy Monday to all of you.
Tis Monday down there. Good day, mates. It's Monday morning. I think if I was to do my math correctly, it's got to be about. Oh, it is now afternoon, 12:46 p.m. In the beautiful Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, where Brett Wheeler is eating chips and enjoying the sunny beach.
Single
He did not enjoy the gumbo dirt of Knoxville Raceway in the 410.
Oh, he liked it until he had a little issue with his wheel, is what I've heard. So, yeah, oh, look at this one. Single foul restart. This is a good restart. Logan Rumsey starting to pull away from them. But Evan C., he's got great drive up there on the top side, Jerry. Look at that 33 come.
Evan C. has found himself some pudding around the top side, and he's lapping it up. Working him off at turn number 3 and 4. Look at this. Blake Majulis has got to run the 127 on the 12 of Alex Bergeron. Bergeron's going to fan it out 3 wide. Look at this. It will be Clay Devon up on the outside. Devon on the 84. Bergeron on the 12 and the 127 of Majulis. This is your battle vector for 3, 4, and 5.
Majulis sails it into turn number 3, slides up the racetrack, keeps it from getting into the 12 of Bergeron. Those 3 cars still battling right there for position. Bergeron all the way to the bottom, now all the way to the top. Big, deep slide job. The 127 of Majulis right there. Clay Devon, he's the middle. He's the stuffing on that Oreo sandwich as they head back to turn 3 and off of turn number 4. Great racing going on for the 3rd spot. And out front, they're starting to get close once again, Jerry.
I tell you what, I thought it was Dollar Bush Light Night here at Knoxville because I tell you, I thought Blake Majulis had got a 2-for-1 special and he was just going to send it there a couple laps ago. Thought he was going to go Larry Enticer on him. Looking at him, though, he has now settled on into the number 4 spot. Bergeron sitting 3rd. Great battle. Here comes Randall Carter in the 37 around the bottom.
Yeah, Carter's. Oh, we've got trouble into the wall. Majulis going upside down. He gets back on the wheels. He's going to get hit again and again. And there is trouble of a big-time variety for one of our front runners, Jerry.
Tough break. Majulis center on in there, and I think it was Dollar Bush Light Night here, and he just put her full send. And it was, you watch it. Ooh, just got the right rear, slapped it. You know, once you tail slap the right rear, it brings the right front around and then into end over end action. Down there in turn number 1 and 2. Then it's, I'm good. Oh, no. I'm okay. Don't mind me. Ooh.
The right front of these big blocks, whenever they make contact with the retaining wall of these racetracks, it just seems like they grab and take the car upward. And, that is absolutely the case here is the contact with that outside wall. Look how close Bergeron is to it. He's up there tickling it. And then Majulis has big troubles.
Majulis up there, it's kind of like any racetrack. When you get that close to the top, you either dance with the devil or flirt with the angels. And unfortunately, Blake Majulis' dancing partner was the devil on that one, as he was not what you wanted to see for the 127 machine. As we are back under the caution, and he sits down in the pit area. Logan Rumsey, though, he says, I kind of like this lead thing. Can I get the race over, though?
Yeah. I was just going to make that point. We'll have to see what Majulis, if he can get back on the track and not lose a lap or get a wave around and be on the lead lap. He's already come through the field once here and was in the top 5, Jerry, so it could happen again. We may not have seen the last of him for the night as long as he can get that car towed and repaired and get on the racetrack. That's going to be the tough part.
That is, like you said, going to be the obstacle that he will have to overcome, Sean. Well, I don't think he's going to make it. Wally pulls a pace truck onto the infield, and we go green flag racing. Logan Rumsey looking from the copter cam down upon this beautiful racetrack in Knoxville, Iowa. They'll hurry down the back straightaway. Clay Devin on the 84 sitting in that number 4 spot. Bergeron is 5. Look at this. Dylan Yeager, Randall Carter. Hang on, they get together. Right side romance up wide. Carter's upside down in turn number 4.
Well, fortunately for him, lands back on the wheels. He's able to drive away, doesn't have to get towed to the infield, won't lose any laps. But here, exactly as you called it, Jerry, we'll see what happened here in turn number 4.
So as they go in there, watch this. Going to be some right side romance applied right here. They come tire to tire. That's going to put Carter on the bike. And when he does, it puts him Tommy tip over and right in front of Yost. Yost I think Yost actually drove under the rear deck lid of that 37 as it was upside down there in turn number 4.
Wow. Well, some nights, Jerry, action is the attraction, and we've had a lot of action so far in this one. Yeah, blame Alex. He doesn't even have to be doing the call. We'll still blame him on this one. A lot of action in the first half of this feature.
Yes, it has been. Holy cow. So the big blocks having a little bit of troubles here at the Knoxville Raceway. So we'll see what happens as we get ready to go back to the green flag here momentarily. $16 of 40 in the books. Hopefully we can get some green flag, and it's kind of like it is out in the real world, Sean. We talk about finding that racing rhythm, get in that rhythm of getting those long green flag runs put together, and once you find that, it becomes pretty easy. But these quick stop and go kind of things can trouble a racer, and cautions do breed cautions. So hopefully we can get through this one as green flag comes back out of the raceway.
Logan Rumsey again, 10 out of 10 on that restart. Evan C. trying to, we've got trouble stacking them up in turn number 2. And the yellow flag is out. Clay Devin had such a strong run going with that 84. And now I suspect he'll be heading to the tail of the field as part of this caution as well.
Having some troubles here tonight with the big blocks. Of course, the big blocks new to the iRacing server, so still some guys trying to get the feel for these things and how they drive. And speaking of how they drive, when you take a look up under the skirt like that, as Underwood did, you're going to drive the rear tires off the ground and around they go. And see if we got an onboard shot of that from the 46 as they got together. And then it was just thump, 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 thump.
Yeah, you're back there. You're trying to build your momentum. You're right next to the wall, trying to keep it wide open, and then all of a sudden they start stacking up in front of you, and it happens so fast.
It just really not a ton of contact, but it was enough to, as we said, break traction in the 84 of Clay Devin. As the car was, you saw it hopping up there on the cushion. You saw it kind of load and unload. It doesn't take much when you're in that transition of the suspension loading and unloading. If you just make just a slight bit of contact, and that's what we saw. And unfortunately, that's going to put the Clay Devin machine and Ryan Underwood, I believe, is going to receive an ELO on that one. Doesn't necessarily mean he did anything wrong, but he was considered involved, so that's why he will go to the end of it.
Kind of like in the real world, all sorts of things can happen, and then you come sliding in there innocently at the last second, and you sit there stalled. You're part of the caution. You're going to the back as well.
Exactly. So hopefully they find that rhythm we're looking for. Green flag back on the racetrack. Big blocks here at Knoxville here on the Nvizion Custom Graphics. Stop during the World of Thunder Esports League Season 12. As we said, great to have you watching on YouTube, on UltimateDirtTV, and here on the homepage of iRacing as we are live from you here at Knoxville, coming to lap number 17.
It's been Logan Rumsey all the way in this A-main by-side battle. James Grace, the 269, Davin Cardwell, the 70, coming forward as well. Cardwell right up there next to the wall, just in front of Richard Murtaugh Jr. in that 33. He's got 28 on the scoring pylon. 2x2. They work themselves off of turn number 4. And look at this. We've got a battle for the lead, Jerry.
They'll hurry and scurry on down into turn number 1 and 2. Logan Rumsey leaves the bottom open, and here comes Evan C. Evan C is going to find that grip of moisture down around the bottom of the racetrack. Has he got it? Now he'll let it slide on up the hill. He's going to take the race lead. Bergeron now, he watched the moves that the 33 MC had. He's going to try the same thing on the 41 machine of Rumsey. Rumsey now going to fight back to the bottom as Evan C goes to the top, and he will capitalize on those moves and grooves and take the lead as we now go to the caution.
Yellow flag. Great racing out front there on that stretch, Jerry. That's going to really be interesting when we come back to this restart. Evan C is going to have control for the first time as we get a look at this Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay.
Taking a look here, Mike Augustine, like we said, has just not been a fan of Knoxville. 72 once again involved in that one. Tough break for him.
If you watch the start of that incident there, Jerry, I think, this might be a setup, one of those things that these are new cars. They're, these drivers and teams, they're still learning the setups. If watch just how much this car bounces getting in the corner here. I mean, that is completely unloaded on the left rear.
We're on the bike right there.
Yeah, so he had to chase that car up the racetrack and just ran out of room to save it.
Yeah, and Dylan Yeager had nowhere to go. You see it in there. You see where it goes, that transition from slick to grip is what I call that. And he gets it up in that cushion, and that right side just dug in at the wrong time. And when it did, it starts that wheel hop. And then that hops into the fence. And then, excuse me, if it was nighttime, we'd seen sparklers and snakes.
Yeah.
Clay Devin comes. Oh, there's sparklers and snakes right there, Sean. Sparklers and snakes.
There they are.
Right now. I mean, it was under the Dairy Queen sign and everything. Here they come. Here they come. Here they come. Are you ready? Look at the sparklers and snakes right there.
The first time I heard you say that, I was watching, I think, something on IMCA TV or something. I almost fell on the floor. I think it's one of the greatest things I've ever heard at a racetrack. I love that one.
I mean, anytime like at Boone or Marshalltown, when them dudes they take that right quarter panel and just down, and it's like sparks. I mean, it's like the 4th of July, sparklers and snakes. And I don't even know how I came up with it one time, but then I was like, just thinking of sparklers and snakes because I like sparklers and snakes and pyro. Oh, who doesn't like pyro? I mean, I still have 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. I haven't blown them off yet. Speaking of this, looking at this, taking a look there, blowing around the bottom side is the 41 machine of Logan Rumsey. He's trying to hold off Alex Bergeron. Look at this, John Ruggiero. He was in a wreck earlier in this race. He's raced into the top 4 now in the double 4 machine.
This track getting slick all the way out there to the wall. You talked about fingers and thumbs. These drivers using all of them, gripping those steering wheels tightly as they make their way around this track. It's getting tricky. We're in the second half of tonight's A-Main. It's C, Bergeron, Rumsey, Ruggiero, and Cardwell into the top 5 as we're 3 wide down there at 1 and 2. Still 3 wide, just a couple different dance partners as they head back down the back straightaway.
Work him on in there. Swing your partner round and round. Do-si-do. Here we go. Around the top of the racetrack. They'll fan it out 3 wide. Look at this. Here comes Richie Yost. Richie Yost has raced his way from deep in the field. Cardwell, though, is up 16 spots in the 70 car. He'll roll it down to the inside of the 33 machine, which is, I believe that is going to be Richard Murtaugh. Richard Murtaugh working in the 5 spot. There comes Cardwell and Yost. Those guys have had to run their way from the back multiple times.
There you see that 29 of Yost working just to the inside of Murtaugh. That's to get into the top 5. Murtaugh has the 5th spot as they back into turn number 3. Out front, C, Bergeron, Rumsey still run 1, 2, and 3. Great battle going on right here for the 5th spot, still in the hands of Richard Murtaugh Jr.
Now they'll work him back there behind them. They are working 2 and 3 wide around this thing feverishly deep in the field as you've got Dylan Wilson in the 80 car, James Grace there in the 269 and the 70. Working back there. Cardwell got shuffled on back. They'll hurry down into turn number 1 and 2. Check it, direct it. Let's begin. Unfortunately, made contact. Dylan Wilson upside down. He'll take the 70 of Cardwell with him. And we go to the caution flag as they danced with the devil once again. The 80 machine. Man, long green flag run though that time as we watch this getting down into turn number 1 and 2. Just tail slaps it, brings it around. Is the car coming to an abrupt stop or slowing quickly to 70 of Cardwell? Had nowhere to go and looked like the kicker for the Chiefs just punted one through the uprights, but just didn't have enough player control to get the rest of the team to score. So,
you know, Jerry, we've talked about these big blocks being, you know, newer to iRacing, and drivers just, to be point blank, honestly, they don't have as much experience with these cars as they would for, let's say, the super late models or the sprint cars that have been around for longer. And so I think the drivers right now, they're finding that it's a really thin line of just how hard that they can push the envelope when they go sliding into the corners here. We're seeing a couple drivers just push it ever so slightly beyond the max, and that outside guardrail here at the Knoxville Raceway, it wins a lot of its contests.
It does. I mean, you know, whether it's if virtual or if you go sit in the grandstands or race there at Knoxville. I mean, I've seen it in modifieds, I've seen it in stock cars, I've seen it in sprint cars and late models at Knoxville. If you catch that outside retaining wall in the wrong spot, it is literally going to slap that right front to the wall, and when it does, it's not good at Knoxville. You carry so much speed at this place that when you get that right side contact with the outside retaining wall, there's literally no saving it. It's inevitably and indubitably going to be not a good night for you.
Indubitably, spell that for me.
Yes. Indubitably.
We'll spell that one at the dingus a little bit later as Evan C. takes the lead back down into turn number 1. He's got Alex Bergeron right there hot on his tail as they head back down the back straightaway. Logan Rumsey in that 3rd spot.
As they work him on in. Man, you know where I could go for a trip to is the Cabaret, though. That's what I was thinking about just the other day. Down the front straightaway, the 29th lap being clicked on off. Evan C. working with Alex Bergeron, your runner-up, the 41 machine of Rumsey right back there. Then you see Ruggiero. Richie Yost has got a run on Richard Murtaugh. Murtaugh working the 44 of Ruggiero as they work down off the west end of the speedway.
Very good with your directions, too. It helps when we've been to these racetracks before. Down into turn number 1. We're seeing the slider line really becoming the preferred groove for these drivers. Entering low, sliding up, catching the moisture, and getting hard back on the throttle towards the exit of the corners. We say that they can sail it in on the top of 3 or hold the very bottom of 4. Still some good battling going on here as you see James Grace in the 269 with Ryan Underwood, that 48 on the high line.
I tell you what, you got 2 handfuls. That is 10 laps to go on this one. Into turn number 3 and 4, it's Evan C., Alex Bergeron, Logan Rumsey, John Ruggiero. That's your top 4. Murtaugh in the 33, rounding out the top 5. You see right there James Grace there, the 269 machine, working the number 7 spot. 8 is Dylan Yeager, 9th. Coming up from deep in the field, the 46 of Ryan Underwood.
Clay Debin charging through the field a couple of times. He's concluding your top 10 as top side of the speedway looks to be the preferred line right now. As I say, that's bottom of turn 1. There's that slider line. Here comes Logan Rumsey. He's trying to get a run on Alex Bergeron off of turn number 2. Bergeron 3-wheeled it off of the corner. They'll all hustle down bottom, then slide up into the moisture off of turn number 4. Top 3 cars breaking away. It's C, Bergeron, and Rumsey as they head back down into the first turn.
Evan C., Alex Bergeron, and Rumsey. You see them, like you said, you catch the inside berm down there in turn 1 and 2, let it slide to the top of the tower in turn 2. Now the bottom of turn 3 and 4, same line as they work it down there. Catch that grip of moisture around the top off of turn number 4. Get as much forward drive and bite out of the car as you can They'll work it off a 2 down the back straightaway. We ride on board with your leader as the battle for second shaping up.
Back down to turn number 3 they go. You see the full grandstands here at the Knoxville Raceway enjoying some big block action as now Logan Rumsey holds the bottom. The 41 trying to build a run on the 12 of Bergeron, cannot get there. Down into 1 they go. Still the slider line, the preferred groove for the top 3. Down the back straightaway they go. Evan C. now out to a 6th car length advantage.
C. Bergeron, Logan Rumsey, John Ruggiero Jr. top 4. Ruggiero 1 out of a podium finish. Evan C., Alex Bergeron, and the 41 of Logan Rumsey. They'll sail them on into turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Sean. Next time by, we should be looking at 3 to go. 3 laps remaining as Logan Rumsey looking to the inside of Alex Bergeron.
Oh, Rumsey had a great run to the inside of Bergeron, then slid up the racetrack into the slick. That's going to allow Bergeron to build his advantage once again over Logan Rumsey. They'll both fling it on down into turn number 1. They'll 3-wheel him off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Time starting to run short here in this main event. Evan C., he's going to see a 2 to go signal at the flag stand.
I've been leading this one for a long time and says it's tastier than hot buttered popcorn. That's Evan C. on out front. Alex Bergeron and Logan Rumsey working back there in the 2 and 3 spots. You know, Rumsey would like to get one more spot around Bergeron. Bergeron, though, is ultra smooth. I mean, you're not a world-class driver for nothing as he is working there as the caution flag comes out. Yellow on the racetrack.
Bunch them up for a couple lap dash to the finish here, Jerry. Just when you thought the script of this one was done, we're going to change things up. Here's your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. Richie Yost, the 29, into turn 1.
Ooh, I got
and yep.
choreograph that one.
Yep. Nice wheelie, though.
It was a good wheelie. Brett Wheeler. It was really good. Wheelie, yeah. No thunder from down under. You know, he did a little announcing this weekend.
Yeah.
At the country tracks. I thought maybe, you know, he'd set the phone up in the window and we could listen to him. No, he didn't do any of that. Oh, there might be a live stream as the Thunder from Down Under, Brett Wheeler, goes on tour again. I was supposed to be on tour this week. I was supposed to be in Waco tonight.
Yeah. Here you are.
Yep, here I am.
Lucky you. You're hanging out here with me. What an awesome time to be you.
If we both would have had our calendars up to date, and we would have spent yesterday, we wouldn't have because you were racing RC cars, but it was, there was Amsoil Supercross, or not Supercross, but Snowcross at Sioux Falls, and you and I talked about that earlier, and I was like, that goes on my Texas trip, but I thought it was next weekend, and you thought it was 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, I've been all messed up, you know. If only there were a way you could organize days, like, by the date and then, you know, keep track of things. If only there were a way.
Like you could write it down or type it into a device that would remind you that things are happening. Yeah. If you find one of those things, will you let me know?
I will. Speaking of finding, Evan C. trying to find the last couple circuits of this racetrack and find his way to victory lane. But Alex Bergeron, he wants to spoil that one. Off of turn number 4, they will come, Jerry.
We'll see what happens. Everything's staying the same on up front. Bergeron going to chase him on down into turn number 1 and 2. It's Evan C., Alex Bergeron, and Logan Rumsey, your top 3. Down the back straightaway, final time. They will go to the west end of the speedway. The sun will set on this one. It's going to be checkered flag off of turn number 4, where Evan C. is victorious at Knoxville. Alex Bergeron and Logan Rumsey, your podium finishers, going 1, 2, and 3. As that'll wrap up big blocks here from Knoxville on Ultimate Dirt TV. Evan C., Alex Bergeron, Logan Rumsey, John Ruggiero, and Richard Murtaugh, your top 5.
James Gray 6th, Ryan Underwood 7th, Dylan Yeager 8th, Clay Devin 9th, and then Randall Carter in 10th.
11 through 15 is going to be Matthew Logan, Richie Yost, Jason Randolph, Dylan Wilson, and Davin Cardwell.
Mike Augustine was 16th, Ryan Flatten 17th, Blake Majulis 18th, Chase Hardy 19th, Sheldon Overly 20th, and Brent Carter 21st here tonight from the Knoxville Raceway with the Nvizion Custom Graphics World of Thunder Big Block Modifieds.
So we will make our way just down into Victory Lane pretty short like, but before we do that, we're going to kick off back to the truck, pay some bills as you're watching Nvizion Custom Graphics Big Blocks live from Knoxville on Ultimate Dirt TV. We have made our way back to the famed Knoxville Raceway. And Sean, let's make our way down to Victory Lane and talk to our podium finishers.
Let's do that, Jerry. And standing on top of the podium tonight, Evan C., the driver of the 33 machine, looking so good here again tonight. Evan took over the lead and really didn't look back at any point after that one. The 33 just stayed out front, stayed clean.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the main thing I was going to do this race was just stay patient. Second place and third place in points there. Majolis and Wilson, they didn't have good qualifying, or something happened to them there. So I just wanted to get a pretty good, solid top three tonight, and not make any stupid mistakes in the beginning that would get myself wrecked, or end up getting a EOL or something like that. But kind of
it seemed like some of the drivers here were really struggling with grip at time and struggling to find just kind of the grooves. What was so tough on the track tonight?
Oh yeah, these big blocks kind of slick the track off a little bit different than any other car. Kind of just the groove just kind of keeps pushing up, and you can't. I mean, sometimes the bottom will come in a little bit, but it really takes pretty much a whole 50 lapper for the top to kind of slick off, for it to go back down to the bottom. So it definitely makes it kind of top dominant, and you got to be ready to check out for people sliding up, or if they get into the wall. So it makes it hard to pass too, and you just gotta be patient, like I was able to, and just see if you can pull off a slider on someone, which definitely difficult with all the yellows.
And a lot of restarts here tonight. How much were you coaching yourself coming back to the green to not spin those tires or make a mistake, especially knowing you've got an Alex Bergeron or a Logan Rumsey right there ready to try and capitalize if you made any slight bobble on one of those restarts?
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to get slid on a restart there just from a bad start. So I just kind of tried to stay patient there, and make sure I could at least stay within a car or so from Logan when he was in front of me on the starts, and just try and set him up for a pass if I could, and not get myself in a bad situation and get slid. And keeping that track position up front was definitely key.
Getting the win here tonight, another solid points performance with that as well. Who do you need to thank to keeping that 33 looking so good all year?
Just all the guys at Team VLR, iRacing, Flag, Jeff Brown over there for all he does. Next Level Designs, Jim Emery over there, Captain Morgan, Dirty Grass Soul, CFM Esports, Shop4U22.com, McConaughey Setup Shop, and so everybody else that helps out. Just thank y'all for doing the broadcast for us each Sunday, and Stephen for putting on a series.
Evan C., congratulations on the win. We'll see you in a little bit for the Super Late Models.
Thank you.
Evan C. picking up the victory tonight. Let's head on over. Jerry Van Sickle catching up with our runner-up, Alex Bergeron.
I think I just talked to this guy not too long ago. Alex, second place in the big blocks. Got to feel good.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely did good. Of course, these guys are rating this, especially Evan. These guys a lot more than I do. So, definitely feels good to be up here and to to stay up front. Definitely the car felt good, and I feel like we have something for the next few rounds there and improve our championship.
Taking a look at it, with these things, I mean, they're kind of like some people will say, the dirt car modifieds or the big blocks are kind of like a sprint car on steroids. Can you take any of that thing from the 410 and put it into this deal, or is it just its own complete monster?
It's completely its own. It's definitely different. The driving is different. The car setup is different. Everything is different. The way you drive, completely opposite driving style. So, like I said, definitely feels good to be up front, and definitely a lot of improvements on our modified program. I would say, only being a small team like we are to be up front like against these guys, it's definitely an achievement.
It's just one of those things you got to keep. It doesn't matter whether it's your 360 program when you're racing outdoors or this. I mean, you win races out of the shop. You don't win them, putting the time and the effort and the work into them. And not only is it the same with working on a car in the shop, but it's working on setups and trying to get yourself better here before you hit the racetrack, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. It's just like that. So, we definitely put the time in and what we can for this. We definitely don't have the whole lot of time to practice for these races, especially with AVR setup shop now. So, definitely a bit difficult, but to be, like I said, to be able to be up here and with the amount of time we put in for this is incredible. So, I can't thank my team enough, Team AVR Esports. So, Jason, Rebecca, everybody. Back at the shop, like they say, and all of our partners, CSI Shocks, Belogicap, BK Designs, Mark Farming Equipment, Stucco, CD Symptography, AVR Setup Shop, and just everybody helps us out. All the fans out there tuning in, my dad for watching all the time, and you guys for broadcasting, and Wolf Thunder for putting this up. So definitely, I can't wait for the late models here and see what we can do.
There we go. Let's go back and get that thing ready here as late models be back here in about a half hour. So Alex Bergeron, strong runner-up finish. And Sean, you got third place with us.
No, looks like Logan Rumsey going back to the trailer. They've got work to do to get the late model ready for the nightcap here. And Jerry, we've got some work to do. We've got a nightcap. We've got Mimi's, Makings and Motions, Warrior Logistics, super late models coming up here from the Knoxville Raceway in just a short bit of time. About a half hour from now, we'll get things kicked off and rolling once again.
Yes, and we will be back live on the iRacing homepage along with UltimateDirtTV and YouTube. So hope you've enjoyed Big Blocks from the Sprint Car Capital of the World, the famed Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa. So until about 9:45 Eastern, 8:45 Central, have a safe trip home. Be good. God bless. And good night, everybody.